The awards.
This is before.
Davis.
Well, hello everybody. How you doing? We're back on Before Nashville for this Monday night, and I've got a young lady with me who is from the bluegrass state, and we'll give her just the grilling that we give everybody else tonight about her music and her hometown and everything. Please welcome to the show, Tyra Madison. Tyra, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Now, I did a little research, and I found out that you hail from the massive metropolis of Pine Top, Kentucky, population 563 as of the 2020 census.
Yeah.
Big town. Big town. Did it have a stoplight or a flashing signal?
Not there, but in Hindman, like the town over, there's one stoplight. There's one stoplight in my county.
In the county.
Mm.
And that was Knott County, is that right? Knott? Yeah, all right. So did a little bit of research on you to kind of find out where you're from. What was it like growing up in a town of 563 people?
Well, I would say it's a little bit bigger than that. It's kind of like, it's like I said, it's a county, but then there's different small towns within it.
Right.
It's like,
right.
Yeah. But I mean, growing up in a small town in general, I don't know. I think there's something really special about small towns. You know,
Yeah.
you've got your people and your built-in support system, and yeah.
Right. Well, when you play the county fair, you know you're going to have a pretty big turnout. So.
Oh yeah, the gingerbread festival. I played that a lot.
The gingerbread festival. I will have to remember that one. Now it's kind of in it's on the east side of Kentucky, not quite in central, a little bit southeast Kentucky. What area would you say like a metro place that people would know would be close by? Not necessarily metro, but somewhere close.
Lexington is 2 hours away.
Okay. And that's more to the north from
That's
there.
Usually people are like, where are you from? And I'm like, it's called Pine Top. I was like, it's southeastern Kentucky, very small. I was like, but it's 2 hours from Lexington. So.
And then they go, okay, I know where you're at now. Not really, but I do.
Now normally, but they're like, either pretend they know or it's very rare if they actually do know.
So how big was your graduating class when you graduated high school?
About like 120 of us.
Oh, so that's pretty big.
Yeah, not too small.
Right. But now, was it like a county school district, or did Pine Top have its own high school?
No, it was a county. It was a county school. Yeah.
So that kind of made a little bit of difference. So that's, I mean, I'm guessing you knew like everybody your age in Pine Top, you knew who they were.
Oh, everybody knows everybody in a small town. A blessing and a curse.
You were coming up with so many great song titles.
I might be a songwriter.
Yeah, you just might. You might. But yeah, everybody knows everybody in a small town. That sounds like kind of a takeoff of Jason Aldean.
That is what he just put out, kind of, ain't it?
Yeah, the try that in a small town. Pretty much same thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So how did you get into music being in that area?
Yeah, so I grew up on bluegrass music, and my papa played the harmonica and my uncle played the guitar. So I grew up in a pretty musical family, and yeah, when I was younger, I would go to this thing called Pickin' and Grinnin' with all these bluegrass musicians would get together every Tuesday night and just play music and eat and dance, basically. And I started going to that when I was like 4 years old. And yeah, I started when I was really young. And then when I was about kindergarten, I did the school talent show, and my mom had no idea I was going to Picking and Grinning with my grandparents and singing, like getting on stage and singing. She had
Mhm.
no idea. So when the school talent show came around, I was like, Mom, I want to do the school talent show. And I'm just a little girl. And she's like, okay, sweetie, like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to sing. And she's like, huh, okay, sure. Um, yeah, so I, sang You Are My Sunshine and a cappella. And from that day, I just knew that I wanted to be a singer.
Right. So as you progress through school and that desire becomes more and more, what kind of steps did you take to get to that that songstress set? How did you develop your skill set?
Um, I would still say that I'm still developing it. I think just writing more often to keep writing and seeing what my sound is. And I think I've finally figured that out. Now it's just, I mean, you can, it doesn't hurt to write a million songs because there's got to be a hit in there somewhere.
Right.
It's just a matter of just writing, just practicing writing and really honing in on that craft.
Right. And just writing that one song that's going to relate to people in a way that's
Takes
going to
one
drive it
slice.
to that
Mm.
that hit force, which quite honestly you have done. I mean, um, your last song was like, let me get my statistics out here because I looked this up.
Right girl,
Uh,
wrong time.
yes, Right Girl, Wrong Time. And it was, what was it? Almost 7 million streams on um, Spotify. Is that right?
Mhm.
And then,
6 million now on
yeah,
Spotify.
6.3 million, close to a little over 6 million. Totally, I mean, over all your platforms, you're looking at about, with Spotify and Apple and all that stuff, you're looking at about, I think I read 12 million streams.
Mhm.
How does that feel for a young lady that grew up in a town of, 563 and in a county? I mean, did you ever feel like you would have 12 million streams on a song?
I mean, you know, doing this music journey, that's something you always hope for. It's
Mhm.
not it's never guaranteed, but it's always something you hope for, and, I mean, it's just really cool. I'm just glad that people want to listen to my music and they care about it and that it heals them or it makes them feel some type of way, which is why I do what I do.
Right. Now, if you had to target in on someone like, in radio, we talk about demographics, you're talking about, male or female, age range, that kind of stuff. But who do you write most of your songs to?
Oh, I write my song for the girls. My songs
Okay.
for the girls. Yeah. I, I'm a big advocate and in, women supporting women and, just knowing your worth and, um, uplifting other women.
Right. Who are some of the artists that you look up to as far as like your, I don't want to use the word idols, but, people that you grew up listening to and just said, hey, I want to be like them.
So I'm a huge Carrie Underwood fan. Grew up listening to a lot of Carrie Underwood, and I just love her powerhouse voice and her, she's a flawless performer. And lately, I really also like Lainey Wilson a lot.
Okay.
Mhm.
Lainey's a really good artist. My wife is just so a Lainey Wilson fan. It's unbelievable.
Me too.
She, we went to see her in concert, and that's all I listened to all the way to St. Louis, which is about a 2-hour drive from our house.
Yeah.
Was Lainey Wilson, and we went through her entire catalog.
Hey, she's got good music, so that's
Yeah,
not a bad car ride.
Yeah, no, and I didn't know she had that much music out. I mean, I was like, wow, she's got some really good songs on here and
Mm,
stuff. So it was
that's
really
amazing.
cool. Um, with the writing, you say you're a songwriter. Do you feel you're more a songwriter than an artist?
I think I'm both. I think I think starting out with songwriting, you don't have as much confidence because you haven't been doing it as long. But I think I can finally say, like, going in rooms that I feel like I'm a mix of an artist and a songwriter. I think I'm
Right.
both.
Who are some of your favorite songwriters to work with?
Um, I've worked with a lot of different people lately. It's kind of that's the kind of cool part about it. Just I'm a people person as well, so it's like, getting to meet new people and like making those kind of connections is something I enjoy. Um, I really enjoy writing with my producer, Jason Haig. I love Jason. And I also enjoy writing with her name's Mary Cutter. She writes a lot of Nate Smith and Bailey Zimmerman stuff. And my next single coming out September 15th, I wrote with a guy named Jeff Cohen. I love writing with Jeff. He's wrote a band Perry song and other great songs. Um,
Mhm.
yeah, I those are just a few, but I've got a good list of people I enjoy writing with. That's the cool thing about Nashville. There's so many talented songwriters here.
Right. So are you more of a like to write by yourself or a collaborative type writer?
No, I'm a more
Co-writing, more collab, co-writing, that kind of stuff.
yeah.
What's one song that you've heard that you said to yourself, why did I not write that song?
Oh, I love this question. Um, Probably Girl Crush.
Very good. Very
I
good song.
really I really like that song. I think it's I love that it doesn't knock down the other woman, but it's like basically like saying she's kind of jealous of her in a way. And I think like that's my brand is like not knocking down another woman in a
Right.
song. Um yeah, I just think the way that song was written was super cool. Super cool view.
Yeah. That's a song I've always liked that song, and when it came out, it was just unbelievable. I mean, just people were like, "Oh my gosh." Um, what's the most unique part about your songs that make people want to listen to you?
Um my most unique part about my songs. Well, I will say people do gravitate more often towards my ballads actually.
Mhm.
And I don't know why. I guess for Right Girl Wrong Time, people gravitated towards it because it was around the time when girls wanted to scream in their car about this boy that broke their heart. And that song just also did that for them. And Bridesmaids is another one that's done well, that is also another female empowerment song about friendship, uh,
Mhm.
that is also done well because, weddings are happening all the time, but
Right.
it's also like we hear so many wedding songs, but we never hear a song about the bridesmaids.
Mhm.
So I guess just depending on what kind of situation it is.
Has anyone ever reached out to you and told you that they were going to use bridesmaids as a intro for their bridesmaids in their wedding? You know how they intro everybody, and
Oh,
they've done that?
oh yeah. I mean, tons of people have. Like, I'll get comments. I use this at my reception, or I use this as my bridesmaids were walking down the aisle. And I did this video the other day where I said I want to come sing at your wedding. So the other day I actually went to my first wedding where I surprised the bride and I went and sang at the
Oh,
wedding.
wow,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
How did that go?
It was good. It was good. It was it was really like emotional and like super touching. Like, I mean, they were crying, my mom was crying. I was trying not to cry because I'm trying to sing.
Right.
And yeah, it was just a beautiful moment. I love friendship and I love women and being a woman. And yeah, it was just really special.
Do you feel like, because you mentioned earlier that people gravitate to your ballads, and it seems like with women that happens a lot. People will gravitate to the ballads. Do you feel like that's part of where the pigeonholing has come for females in country music, that they can't seem to get the amount of airplay they deserve?
I definitely think that's an issue.
Mhm.
I also think that this is my opinion, but I think a song speaks for itself.
Right.
I I personally don't think that I might get in trouble for saying this, but I personally don't think that a woman should be on the charts just because she's a woman. I think it should be the song. I think,
Right.
you know, I think songs speak. But I will say I think there are tons of talented female artists that don't get enough recognition or airplay. So, I think I think women do deserve more airplay, yes.
So who do you feel like is an underrated female artist right now?
Well, I mean, I saw something the other day how there hasn't been a female on the top charts in like 8 weeks or something, and I mean, I don't understand how Lainey Wilson ain't up there.
Right.
I mean, she's like one of the most popular female artists right now, and I don't understand why she's not.
Yeah,
But
the I don't know the last I know she hit number 1 with Hardy on Wait in the Truck, but by herself, I don't know if she has or not yet, or maybe
yeah,
she has with one.
mm,
So, but it's kinda like that. It seems like a lot of times women get to the top of the charts as long as they're with a male artist.
yeah, that does happen a lot.
And to me, that's one of the downfalls of Nashville. Because, like you said, there are tons of talented female artists out there that deserve to be, top 10 or number one, you know. But for whatever reason, and we've had this battle, especially in radio. I mean, radio's had that battle for years
Mm.
of why are women not topping the charts more, you know.
Well, that's what I don't understand too. Is I'm pretty sure that the majority of country music listeners is females.
Mhm.
So the it doesn't make sense to me that more women aren't recognized, I guess, if
Right.
females are the top listeners.
And there's kind of an argument about that I've heard, and I'm going to play the devil's advocate here, and you tell me, your thoughts on it. But when I first got into programming country music, a lot of people would say, "Well, women don't like to hear women." That was the argument a lot of programmers had. Women don't like to hear other women.
I don't think that
And
statement is true.
I never felt that way. I mean, when you look at, I mean, if you look at like Miranda, Maren Morris, Carrie Underwood, Carly Pierce, Lainey Wilson, the majority of the people they have that are their fans are female.
Mm,
So how can you say that women don't want to hear women sing? I mean, that's just kind of ridiculous to me.
yeah.
Um, but
I don't know if that statement is, to me, I don't know if that's correct.
right. And I mean, I feel like there are a lot of underrated, you know, um, females. Like you said, Lainey is probably, even with the accolades that she's had, she's probably still been kind of, I don't want to use ostracized, but kind of left out by country music.
Mm,
I mean, she's won awards, female vocalist of the year. I mean, she's won awards just like everybody else has. But
mm,
it just seems like, um, and there's a lot of good ones that come up. Ashley McBride is another one that I feel like's been kind of shunned by, the country music industry. And
mm,
Carly to an extent, Maren Morris, probably not as much as others, but still has some. Carrie Underwood, she's pretty much the golden girl, she and Miranda and that's it seems like those are about the only ones that are really in the forefront of people's
mm.
minds.
Yeah.
You know, if you were to go downtown Nashville on Broadway, and I've seen people do this, and I have a friend that does it, I need to reach out to her. She's a female artist, and she'll ask these questions like, "Can you name uh 3 or 5 Johnny Cash songs?" And people can't do it, or songs by Blake Shelton, and they're standing in Old Red, and they never say Old Red. It's like,
Yeah.
it's just a bar. That's all I know, that kind of stuff. And
Mm.
I feel like if somebody, and she may have asked this question, I'll have to go back and check with her, but can you name 5 female country music artists?
Oh, yeah.
Um, and
That we
I don't,
haven't named?
what's that?
That we haven't named?
No, well, I just mean in general, if you went down on Broadway and asked people, do you think they would be able to
Oh,
name?
I thought you were telling me to name them. I'm
Oh,
like,
no, no.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah. Yeah, you do. I mean,
But
well,
yeah, that would
and
be
you
that would
say
be
that.
very interesting to do and just see, like, kind of a social experiment just to see how many female artists people could name.
Right. Well, let's just go ahead and you do that. Name 5 artists that we haven't named, female artists that we haven't named.
Dolly Parton,
Uh-huh.
Maya Twain,
Yep.
um, Meg Maroney. It's another one.
Mhm.
She's newer. Um, we already said Miranda, didn't we?
Yeah, we said Miranda.
El King,
So there's 4.
and then one more. One that we haven't said. I know a lot of up and coming ones.
Yeah. Just name one of them. I mean, I could think of 3 or 4 of them off the top of my head. You named Megan Maroney, she's up and coming.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like my recent favorite people. Um, shoot. Well, they're a duet, but Tiger Lily. They're
Mhm.
they're girls that I really like. I really like them.
Yeah, they're sisters, I think, aren't they?
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're nice people, and I think they're really talented.
So, I mean, and those and they're new. I mean, they released a song out just a few, I don't know, it's been a
But
month or
as for
2.
the bigger label people, like headliners, I'm like trying to think. I mean, obviously Carrie, but we already said her.
Mhm. And looking at the headliners, I'm thinking like Reba,
Oh
uh,
yeah, Reba.
uh, Sarah Evans, that was just asked to
Yeah,
join the Country Music Hall of Fame,
I
which
was there.
or the Grand Ole Opry.
I was there. Yeah,
What's her name? Shoot, Broken Wings.
Martina.
Yeah, Martina McBride.
God. Yes,
Um, if you go back further, you got um, June
Gretchen
Carter
Wilson.
Cash,
Gretchen
uh,
Wilson.
Gretchen Wilson, Patsy Cline, uh,
Mm. Patty Love.
golly, Loretta Lynn. Yeah, Patty Loveless is another one. Um, Faith Hill. I don't know how we couldn't think of Faith Hill.
Oh yeah.
You know, but that's kind of like i- if you ask somebody just to name 5 female country artists, I don't feel like they could do it. And if you ask
That'd
them to
be
name current ones, they sure couldn't.
name what?
Name current ones. I don't think
Oh yeah.
because there's not enough that are on the charts that you can name it. I mean, you got 4 of them. I was thinking like Alana Springsteen is another one that's an up and comer.
Oh yeah.
Well, Priscilla Block.
Oh,
Um,
Priscilla. I forgot about Priscilla.
um, gosh,
Priscilla.
um, there's so many of them that I can't think right now, but there's so many of them that it's just unbelievable.
Mhm.
But and so it's not like there's not an aisle in the grocery store of country music that doesn't say female artist up above
Yeah.
it. It's there. You just got to go down and find the ones you like and pick them out and work with them. But I mean, you're proof. You've got one song, like I said, that's done 6 million streams. 12 million overall platforms, and there are some that aren't even close to that yet. But they're getting there. You know, TikTok has a way of finding artists nowadays. Of course, Priscilla Block and
Mhm.
Bailey Zimmerman, and I think Oliver Anthony that does. And I've really latched onto his song, that "Rich Men North of Richmond."
Mhm.
But
Wild.
it's just really, there are so many out there that you can choose from. And I
Mm.
don't know why the labels in the industry don't latch on to those.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, there are some of them that's got several albums out. They put out a ton of music, but they pick up on one that's got one song that was on TikTok, and all of a sudden she's an overnight success. No offense to Priscilla Block, but that's kind of what happened. She was found on TikTok by a record label and then blew up,
Mhm.
you know? And I don't know if it's A&R. I don't know if it's the A&R departments,
Mhm.
the
It is.
development and research departments that are not doing their jobs, if it's, the big wigs at the label that aren't doing their jobs. I don't know. Somebody's not doing something right in my book. And I'm a big proponent of independent artists, male or female.
Mhm.
That's the same way with independent artists. Every artist from Jelly Roll to Luke Combs to Jason Aldean to Kenny Chesney to Reba to Martina to Faith to Sarah, they were all independent artists at one time.
Yeah.
you know, so it doesn't matter who you are; they're all independent artists, and that's what I like. I like the independence in that they put out the music they want to put out, and they're not structured by a deal to do what a label wants. They get to do their own thing. Not that every independent artist doesn't want a record deal. You
Mhm.
know, I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, as long as it's structured correctly and you're not on the losing end of a deal, then yeah, that's what you want to do. And I think that's fantastic. But um, I just really, I just feel like that as a industry, that country music needs to move a little bit more into the, I don't want to say the term the new age, but and even the new world. I mean, but we need to move into modern times. How's that?
Mhm.
So if I were to open up your phone, I'm
Oh
guessing you have an iPhone.
yeah.
Okay. I'm not going to look at your pictures. I'm not going to look at your text messages. I'm going to look at your music. What are the top 10? Let's do top 5 artists you're listening to right now.
Okay. It would be I love Kelsey Ballerini's EP,
Mhm.
Rolling Up the Welcome Mat. I love Morgan Wallen's Dangerous album. Um Probably like some kind of 2000s hip hop playlist because that's just one of my favorite kind of genres.
Mhm.
um
Probably not 2000s, but Baby Got Back, any of that stuff.
no,
That's more
like Get
90s.
Low and like all that fun stuff.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Um the club music. And then 2 more people. That wasn't really a person, that probably didn't count.
Yeah, we'll take it though. Maybe I just said
Oh,
what
I
you're
love Rascal Flatts. I can always listen to Rascal Flatts. They're always on my road trip playlist.
all
Uh,
right.
and then probably Taylor Swift because she's got different genres and I've been listening to a lot of her stuff lately. And then probably one more.
You just gave me an idea for another question to ask people, so I just wrote that down real quick before I forget it.
Road trip playlist.
Yes.
There you
That's
go.
pretty awesome, like, what's on your, road trip or your touring playlist when you're going
People
from
people will know what you mean.
Yeah,
I want to say Carrie's probably my last one or something like that. Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Alright. If you could collaborate with one artist, who would it be?
Taylor Swift.
Okay. Would
Yeah.
it be on a like, a boyfriend breakup song, like those that she's
Yeah, I
famous
think that'd be really cool, like a revengeful, like,
Mhm.
song. I would love that.
Like Picture to Burn,
Yeah, or yeah, something like that.
or what was the one that she had out, oh gosh, she's had so many of them. It's hard to keep track of them.
I know. I just like about her, one, she's just a phenomenal songwriter, and which I respect so much, and I like that she can do any genre, and that would be, kind of fun to figure out what genre we would do.
Are you more into the songwriters or the artist? Like, when you're listening to people,
It
do you
depends.
listen to the songwriters?
It really depends. It depends on who it is.
Okay, okay. Um, let's talk about shows for just a minute, then I wanna get into, Plead the Fifth is the name of your newest song, correct?
Um, that was the one
Yeah.
before Hurts a Little Less, but yeah.
Okay, that's the one that I got from your publicity, so Hurts a
It
Little Less hasn't came out yet?
No, it's out.
Okay, it
No,
is,
my
okay,
new song coming out in September is Rebound.
okay, Rebound,
Yeah,
okay. Well, this must be an old email I got from your
probably.
your
Okay.
publicist. Um, when you're getting ready for a show, what takes you the longest to get ready?
Like, what do you mean?
Is it like your appearance? Is it your vocal prepping? You're going over your set list?
I would s I mean, probably getting ready, like, my makeup or something, but honestly, like, I am so last minute with creating my set list, like, my band probably wants to kill me sometimes because 'cause I'm like I'm literally making the set list right before we're going on stage, so,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
So it's just to let them know that you are, or they need to be up on your music. That keeps them in check, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I keep them in check.
Um, what's your favorite cover song to do?
Oh, I love doing Jesus Take the Wheel. Before He Cheats is my go-to karaoke song. Yeah, probably one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had another one of those epiphany moments.
I'm just giving you all the ideas.
You are good for my
Inspire
creative
me.
moment
Why
tonight.
don't you?
Yeah, I really should. Let's see. I got to remember how to spell it.
Karaoke?
Yeah. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Karaoke.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Karaoke. That's right. There you go. That's the way I spelled it, so I think I got it right. If you could describe your personality, okay, and one of these three people, and I will explain the person as I call out their name. All right. So you can kind of
Okay.
understand. Jim Carrey, just kind of off the wall, spastic, bounce around. Mariah Carey, no relation, but a diva. It's your way or the highway type of thing. Or Kanye West, you're just an absolute nut job. How would you describe your personality?
Well, probably Jim Carrey. Oh, well, okay, so I wouldn't say I'm a diva like Mariah, but I will say I like nice things. But
Mhm.
I would definitely say the side of me that people don't see, like the people that know me know I have like a goofy side, and that would probably be my Jim Carrey side.
Right.
I don't take life too seriously, you know? It's
Right.
it's too short. Have
Absolutely.
fun. Yeah.
That's a good outlook to have. So before we go on, I want to get into playing Plead the Fifth, which like I said, I got that from your publicist, and so we may be a little outdated on that, but we'll encourage people to go to your Spotify and listen to the new stuff or your iTunes or all that stuff. But this is Tyra. It's called Plead the Fifth. And when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the background of the song, the backstory, and then we'll get into some more questions after that. All right. So this is Tyra Madison and Plead the Fifth.
One white car in my drive, 2 men in blue underneath my porch light, 3 hard knocks on my door, 4 miles just straight in my story before. I'm in that chair, still the cups on my hands, and they got some questions about a missing man. I plead the fifth. I learned how to be quiet since he put a ring on my hand. I plead the fifth. Yeah, he's somewhere lying. No, he never was a good man. Ain't saying I did, ain't saying I did. I ain't saying nothing about it, I did. I plead the fifth. One rose for every black eye. I heard I'm sorry too many times. 3 years I didn't sleep good, so for one more day I can keep my mouth shut. I plead the fifth. I learned how to be quiet. When lying, no, he never was a good man. Ain't saying I did, ain't saying I did. I ain't saying nothing about it, I did. I'll be the he got. He had coming for him. I plead the fifth. I've learned how to be quiet since he put a ring on my head. I plead the fifth. Yeah, he's somewhere lying. No, he never was a good man. He's saying nothing, ain't saying nothing. I ain't saying nothing about him. I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth.
All right, there you go, Tyra Madison and Plead the Fifth. When I first heard the title of the song, I thought it's going to be kind of like almost a Goodbye Earl type of thing. I did it, but I'm not going to admit to it. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of what it is. That's why it doesn't really. That's kind of the cool part about the song. It kind of leaves it a mystery because it really doesn't tell you if I did it or not.
Right. And it's so cool because I like that little like the mystery of it, like you say, about okay, did she or didn't she? Is this going to lead to a sequel song? You know, something else along the lines that I look pretty in orange or something like that. You know, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's probably not a song you'd ever write, but
yeah.
orange looks good on me, and that's kind of like the follow up to it. If they finally figured it out, type of thing. How did the thought of that song come about?
Yeah, so I wrote it with two girls, Mary Heather Hickman and Stephanie Joyce, and I watch a lot of crime documentaries. It's like mine and my roommate's guilty pleasure, and so I always hear I Plead the Fifth on those shows that I watch all the time, and yeah, I just never heard that title before, and I knew I've always wanted to write a story song like that before, and yeah, it just kind of came about.
Do you feel like if you did do a follow up to that song, that it might label you as, oh, she's just the murderous country singer type of thing?
I don't think so, but honestly, I think women love a good murder country song, so I don't think that'd be an issue. If
I
it
think
did.
you're absolutely right there, and I love that about I love that you recognize that because I've heard that a lot. You know, women love a good murder song.
I do.
And that goes back to the personality question too. I wouldn't want to be the guy that
I
dated you
am
that picked you up. Right.
Kanye.
Yeah, the guy that you and Taylor would write the song about may not be the song may be the least of his worries is kind of where I'm thinking.
Yeah. Well, Taylor has this song called "No Body, No Crime," so it's like,
Right, exactly.
dang.
If you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice, what would that be
Um,
about the industry?
I would I would say, don't be too hard on yourself. And I I have to like remind myself to celebrate my milestones. Like when Right Girl Wrong Time happened, that was super exciting for me, but it was also just a milestone and I'm nowhere near where I want to be with my career right now. So it's just reminding myself to celebrate my milestones but be ready to beat them the next day.
Okay. Um, let's. Uh, I'm going to get a little deep in your feelings for a minute here. Okay.
Oh Lord.
Um, have you ever struggled with your career and choosing it?
Choosing it?
Yeah, did you ever feel like you made a mistake, or have there been times where you're just like, "Is this really where I should be?"
No. I um I've known since I was 4 that I wanted to be a singer, and that's all I ever wanted to be. There was
That
no plan B or second option for me. It was always this.
I hear that a lot from artists, everybody talks about their plan B, what's gonna be your follow-up or what's gonna be your fallback, and a lot of artists say, "There is no plan B, this is it. It's make or break," you know?
Yeah, and I
Um,
think that's why that, like, distinguishes it a career from a dream. It's not a career, it's a dream, really, at this point, and, it's not guaranteed, but there's definitely it's like a roller coaster. There's highs and there's lows, and, um, yeah, it's a cycle, but it's for the love of music.
that has got to be one of the most poignant responses to that question I've ever heard because you said it's the difference between a career and a dream. It's not a career, it's a dream. And a dream goes beyond a career, you know. And that is amazing. I mean, those words are what you just said are unbelievable coming out of an artist's mouth. I've
Thank
never had an artist say that.
thank you.
You are so welcome. Um, is it worth everything you go through for the dream? The long nights, the early mornings, the road
I think
trips?
one day it will be all be worth it.
Mhm.
Yeah. I wouldn't wanna be doing anything else.
Um, as a as an independent artist, what are some of the biggest challenges that you face?
I would probably say rejection, which I know that everybody faces rejection, but gladly let I handle rejection by motivating me to do better and be better, and,
Mhm.
um, I know that's not the case with some people. It's probably very discouraging for some people, but luckily, I'm the kind of person that if I get rejected, um, I'm just figuring out how can I be better as an
Right,
artist,
right.
because 'cause I've gotten way more no's than yeses in life,
Mhm.
and yeah, it motivates me.
Mm. I feel you there. I was telling a friend of mine the other day because I work on the air in radio and then I do some sales. And since I've started doing sales, I told him I've gotten more no's and since I was in high school. Uh, it's like terrible.
Yeah,
But that's advertising, and I can equate that to an artist. I mean, you're basically selling yourself, and people say, no, 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 and you're like, oh my gosh, why? And that puts that self-doubt in your mind. You start thinking, is this worth it? But then you get past that and you go, yes, it is, you know.
yeah, yeah, I think it'll all be worth it one day. But,
Um,
like, how many people can say that they get to do what they love every single day of their life? Like,
right,
that's the meaning of life to me, doing something that makes you happy,
right.
if it's challenging.
But you take those challenges and you learn from them and you just go on about what you're doing and you do it in the best way possible.
Yeah.
And like you said earlier, you focus that energy into what you're doing as opposed to what everybody else or what everybody else is saying. I mean, I got to say this: you got a set of pipes on you. You got a powerful voice, and it was very evident in I Plead the Fifth. And I mean, I'm just like, golly, you know, um, talking about Carrie being one of your influences and stuff. That's one way to show her that she's an influence is with that voice. Because girlfriend, you got it.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Um, if you could go back in time to change something about your music career, what would that be? What would you want to change?
I don't I think with music and with life in general, I don't think I would change anything. Cause I think, I've learned so much about who I want to be as an artist and who I want to be as a person. And I truly think that everything happens for a reason.
Hmm.
I'm a firm believer in that. And I don't think I would change anything. I think everything that has happened in my music career has made me into the artist that I am.
Very, very good way to look at that. I like that a lot. Um, let's see here. When do you feel like you're most creative? Like a time of day, morning, night, late night, before sun up, 3 o'clock?
Probably like 11 a.m. because that's when my rights are. That's like the normal standard, like Nashville right time is like 11 a.m.
Mhm.
So probably 11 a.m. ish.
I love that. That's great.
Hmm.
um, what was the first show or concert that you ever attended?
My first concert ever was the Backstreet Boys.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like 2.
Oh, wow.
I was young. I was young. No, I wasn't 2. I think I was younger. It was like my first concert ever. But so my mom, I'm very lucky because my parents are very supportive of me and my career. But from a very young age, my mom would take me to tons and tons of concerts. And that was just my learning experience, like just watching and observing these artists because one day I would be doing that myself.
Right.
Yeah. So
That's that's really cool. I love that. Where can people find your music? I'm going to put this up real quick. But where can they find your music itself?
everywhere. Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon Music. I'm on Pandora. Um, everywhere. Anywhere you can get music.
And if they want to know your latest, like where you're going to be and all that, they can always go to the website.
Mhm.
Right up there on the screen. Um,
Yeah. Or my social media. I'm pretty active on social media. Probably my Instagram and my TikTok mostly too.
all right. Well, let's do this. Usually have this pulled up, but I'm doing it late tonight.
Right.
Let's see here. Let's go to tour. Just kind of check out and see where you're going to be. You got you were there. You
It's
fleed
all
at like
good.
that's March. Oh yeah, this is. I almost blew that, didn't I?
It might not be updated.
See.
Wanted to get someone to fix that.
So, but what kind of tours do you have coming up? I mean, what kind of shows do you have?
I'm playing a show in Foley, Alabama on September 15th
Okay.
at the Owa Theater. That's a headlining one. And then I play a lot of writers rounds around town. But that's my really most recent show I have right now.
Hmm. Do you, when it comes to the writers' rounds, is that something that you enjoy as doing those? I mean, they look like I've not been to one, so I have to admit, so I'm going to
Mhm,
have to try to get out to one at some point somewhere.
mhm. Yeah, I really enjoy them. Um I just try to involve myself in the community as much as I can and just stay active and I really enjoy playing with other songwriters. Like I said, there's so many talented songwriters in this town, so it's just really cool to hear other people's craft.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Is there now? I've been told, and I'm just trying to find out for myself, and I know there kind of is. When you're writing a song, is there a formula that you use to write your songs, or do you just like you start off with
Mm.
like a melody, and then you go to writing the words down, or that kind of stuff?
I would say I start with an idea first, and all of those if I'm bringing the hook, it's most likely in my notes on my phone. I always randomly, if I come up with an idea, I like put it in my notes in my phone for like when I have it right. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, mostly it would start with the idea and then probably the lyric and then the melody for me,
Okay.
or
Now,
vice versa for those maybe.
what what instruments do you play? Because I see pictures of you playing the piano,
Yeah, I play piano.
guitar, or anything else, or
I don't really play guitar. I'm more piano.
okay. Is it easier? Do you feel like it's easier to come up with, like, if you have a melody in your head, can you go to you go to the piano? Do you feel like it's easier to do that, or would it be easier on a guitar?
I don't really play guitar. I'm actually going to I'm interested in starting, like it's just something I never got into, and, um, I guess that would probably be something that if I was to change something, that would be I wish I would have taken my guitar lessons when I was a kid more seriously, probably. That would be that would be one of the things I actually probably would change, but, um no, I don't really play guitar, but I'm actually looking into buying a guitar and probably taking lessons or at least learning my own songs. That way I can play them.
Right. So when you're out, like if you're doing say a solo acoustic show, I don't know if you do those very often. A lot of people do, but if you did that, are you usually just playing? Well, I say solo acoustic. Let's just say acoustic, because solo means one person. Duh. But,
Yeah, I know what you
if
mean.
you're out with, like, I mean, do you take a guitar player with you, or do you play on piano, or
Yeah, I bring a guitar player.
okay,
Yeah.
alright. And, again, if they wanna find you, they can find you on all the social media. You've got, all of it, Facebook. I think I saw your TikTok was, like, almost 400,000 followers right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty close to 400,000. I'm very, very close.
Yeah, so let's drive that up for Tyra and get her up over that 400,000 mark and see
Yeah,
if we
we are
can't
so
get half
close.
a surely there's 100,000 people out there that I know that can, that can follow you.
Yes.
Um, so let's see if we can push that up for her. And looking forward to the new music. You said the new single's coming out September
15th.
15th. All right.
Mm.
So we'll keep our ears open for that. And in the meantime, just want to wish you the best. Thanks for coming on the show. It's I love just sitting and chatting and hanging out and finding out more about you. It's been fun.
Yeah, good talking to you.
And so you guys go check out Tyra after the show. We'll have. I'll actually update the song. I think I haven't got I plead the fifth on there, but I'll put that and then I'll put the newest one on the show playlist on Spotify so folks can check out both of them.
Cool. Thank you.
That way I look a little more current anyway.
All good.
All right. So, Tyra, you have a great evening. Great to talk to you. And we'll be keeping an eye out. And don't forget, you can always pick up Before Nashville on all your favorite places to get your podcasts, Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, all of those. We're everywhere. I'm iHeart. We're on iHeart. So go check us out and follow Before Nashville so that when we have another artist coming on, you'll be right there, and you'll also find out when your latest episodes of your favorite artist are being put up. So everybody, you guys have a great night, and we'll see you soon.
And that's a wrap. Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Before Nashville on all social media and listen wherever you get your podcast. Tune in again for another country star of tomorrow on Before Nashville with George Davis. I'm Kevin Casey on behalf of Worldwide Pants. Have a great night.